All right, fam. L.A.R movement still moving. This is part two. Father's role. Um, Now, his role was a whole lot different because of whatever they was going through and his dislike for her. He basically, we didn't have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And and as a father now, it's some things I see that I that I can understand, and some things I can see that I still understand and can't excuse. So here's how it goes. When I was young, um, his part of it was when he was he's I was living in I think when they split I was living in DC, Baltimore, something like that. One of them moved to the Midwest, and at that point, DC was the actual home of all child support. You know, everything came out of out of there. They started splitting it up, state to state. You know, well, region to region at the time. Um, so when my mother moved to the Midwest, it was one of those situations where when they split it up, they were taking it from him in D.C. and sending it to the Midwest, but she wasn't getting it. So it strained me in his relationship because she didn't believe him, for one, when he said he was doing it, and so we didn't have a relationship because of that. Because she felt like if he didn't pay, why have a kid? Now, fast forward, I was like 25. A judge called me, asked who I was, asked who he was, got in touch with my mother, let him know that that's basically what happened during that period because he wound up paying back child support because after a while he got behind and stopped paying basically and got another job and moved on or whatever. So on that part he did that, um, but the judge had to tell her that that's actually what happened during well, I can't say how long, maybe 3 4 year period, you know what I'm saying. So it took for her to hear that from an actual judge to apologize to him, but at the same token, it was part of what ruined me and his relationship. So I was the loser at the end of the day. Now, what he did basically was he didn't care. Like anything I wanted to do that was positive in my life, he didn't care. Meaning, he would also sabotage things because he didn't want to see me successful either. So, prime examples. I wanted to play football. Wound up going to college. I had to run track first. Do a little, you know. I went to a place where nobody knew me, so I had a whole lot of stigmas because didn't nobody know me, and you don't get an opportunity when people don't know you. It's who you know, not what you can do. So I run track, and I tell the track coach off the bat, "Hey, look, I'm here to play football." So here's the thing. No, I'm gonna take it. Well, I'm gonna get that story out, then I'm gonna go back a little bit. He calls the coach, tells the coach I'm a liar. I destroyed the team. So that track coach in turns take that internally, projects that onto me, treats me as if I'm those things, then tells the football coach. So I didn't get a chance to play football at that school at all because I had already not had a big red flag on me. Now, I took it as he went out of his way to tell him all this stuff about me, and he don't even know me. And and he's an old school guy who believes a father's got to be right because his father not understanding that he wasn't raising me. You get what I'm saying? He never cared. He didn't show up until it was time to take credit for something. So that was one thing that bugged me. Earlier in life, he had a big weed smoking problem. There's a lot of y'all, cats that do that out there. I got jealous as a kid because I felt like he was spending more time with his weed and partying than he was with me. Went out there for the summer one time. So I dumped all his weed in one of them bags of Chips Ahoy when they had the little wrap paper thing. And I wrapped them up, put it in the bag, threw it out in the trash. And I had been there for some weeks, and I ain't never did nothing. I could just sit in the house when he go to work and just wait on him to come back like 12 hours later. I was like, man, this is bull. So he comes in the house like a normal day, goes in his room, shuts the door, try to start smoking like he usually did. No weed. So he comes out, strong on me, basically whip my ass, till I tell him where the weed at. So I tell him, I show him where the weed at. He go pick it up, get my bruised ass, throw me around, go get out of the way, go back in the room, go start smoking it. So at that point, I checked out as his son because I was like, okay, weed is what's most important to you. You don't give a fuck about me. Child support or no child support. You get what I'm saying? And that kind of warps a lot of guys because y'all think that just because you sending money, you don't even have a connection. You know. So get a little older, past that. Um, I get a little older, a little bigger, a little stronger. My father's a huge guy. I'm not. So, but I would say like this. I'm unusually powerful for my size. Let's just put it like that. When I get old enough to fend for myself, we have a problem. Because then it's like, yeah, now you realize you're going to deal with me for real. So we get into it time to time. And this is where the rubber meets the road, and I'm old as a grown man. Because at this point, and this is where most fathers mess up, and I'm going to hit this one quick on this part. When a relationship is messed up between the parents, the child has to grow up and basically give a clean slate to the father. Because when you realize it ain't just his fault. So now you got to come, he can't really necessarily be a father, but he can kind of fill a void as a friend. You get what I'm saying? So, and work his way up if that makes sense. So I had to give him chances as an adult because he didn't get chances as a kid, really, because of all the nonsense in the middle. But the same things apply. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to do something positive, it was the same thing. He was in the way. Like me and him basically came to terms in my mind about it because his mother kind of took over when my mother's mother died. You know, she was the one guiding me and trying to point me in the right direction. I went to Atlanta because I wanted to move out there, transfer jobs, move out there, buy a house or whatever, to be closer to my son at the time. And his mother moved here where I'm at from Katrina because they stayed with me for a while, which was one of the best experiences of my life because it's great to take care of somebody who's been taking care of you so long. To just be in a position to do that was a blessing. I ain't gonna lie. I really, I thank God for that part. Anyway, what happened was, Cat had a heart attack. Okay, he has a heart attack. I go out there check on him, and he has a come to Jesus moment or whatever. And in this come to Jesus moment, he realizes he made some mistakes that he needs to make up for. Fast forward in the future, his mother dies. She leaves everybody something. So what she leaves for me is a down payment for when I do buy a house. So make a long story short, he steals it, blows it, just steals it and blows it, just straight up. So I confront him about it. He goes off on me, like you got real brand new. So at that point, I told him, I said, look, man, when I see you, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's it. I understand we wasn't together as a kid. I understand we wasn't together as a teenager. As an adult, I tried. And this is how you repay me. You know. Now this is where it goes wrong with fathers. If you never initiate, you can't make your child initiate having a relationship with you. Like if you're the dad and understand you got situation with the mother, I get that part. But if you never try to build a relationship at no point, you need to try to start early, even if you're going through nonsense, because you get used to not having a relationship. My father has other kids. He's a father to them kids. Me, even my grandmother, my family on that side don't call him my father, they call him my brother. So if you don't want to be a brother, you're gonna have to do some things to not to make sure that you're not old enough to be a dad, but viewed as a sibling. You feel me? So it's not just a check. It's a relationship that's got to be built. If you don't build a relationship, you have nothing to talk about. I'm out on that. Peace.